Well, I wasn't recording, but I will now. It's all started guffing out the top of the breather. So yeah. Right, so this is a big test for one of the baby low doors. See if it will lift an Abbott pack up and drag that round the yard. Well, they're a heavy old pack, and that's pretty impressive. Even our load struggles more than this. Well, she made light work of that. I'm very, very impressed. Now, my job for the day is to plumb this pack up off this Abbott, because I know this Abbott works, and basically run it up and make sure it's all working. So yes, as far as I remember, this pack wasn't charging. Now it's either going to be the fuse in the regulator tank, or the rectifier unit, sorry, but I'm pretty sure I checked that. I can't actually remember. Or it's going to be an alternator if it's pack side. If it's not pack side, it'll be something in the vehicle, and that's usually a regulator or something along them lines. But I think it's going to be pack side. Well, we've disconnected all the umbilical cords. Now it's time to reconnect them. I've left the fuel pipes connected for a minute because until I'm actually ready to put them on, I'm going to leave them on because it can get a bit messy. I'm hoping it'll all start up wonderfully and everything will go smoothly. I've disconnected the prop. That way I can actually run it up with the gearbox engaged, and we can make sure that the heat exchange is good on the gearbox side, because they tend to get a bit milky. You might have seen our previous videos. That looks a bit wrong, Dylan. Would you believe Dylan lifted that whole rad on by himself? I was well impressed. I stood there and watched.
It was good as ghostly superpowers.
Yeah. The grey gate, it almost looked like it just levitated up in the air. Well, we've just gone to start it up, and the solenoid doesn't work. So, yeah, not a lot of starting going to happen there. Well, at least I can show you something noisy today. Dylan has finished putting this one back together for us, and we're just going to start it up. Tom's going to flick some buttons. Are you confident you've put everything on right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Next time, don't hesitate like that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm super confident. Nothing can go wrong. It's completely unsupervised. Have we got government oil?
Yes.
We've got government oil. Okay, okay. Nothing can go wrong then.
I love it when you say that. I'm just getting clicking.
We need to set the prop off.
Ooh.
Prop must come off, then we can actually run it up with the gearbox engaged. You don't want to do that with the prop still on. Maybe I shouldn't have said, at least I can show you something making noise today.
You can, it'll just be a little bit later.
Yeah, a little bit later on. So yeah, the solenoids are broken on this one, which is nothing. That's okay. I don't really like the solenoids anyway. I can lock that off, not a problem. What is a problem though is basically this linkage is orientated wrong, and that is your decompression lever, so that's how you stop it. And I don't really know what this is about, but yeah, on an Abbott that lever, that linkage should be the other way around, so you're pulling back like that, and it's not. But how the hell you get that off to turn it around so it's upside down so you can pull it back like this, I really don't know. Now I do know, and it's hydraulic tank off, heat exchanger off, corner piece off, injector pump loosened and slid out. But that's a lot of work. That's, yeah. So I might beat around the bush for a little bit before I build up to doing that. Right, well, after lots of struggling, I've got the linkage off. Now you can see there's no room down there, but I've got the linkage off. So now I'm going to put it upside down. I've made up this little bracket, and I'm going to tie some blue rope through there, and that's how I'll stop the vehicle. Bit of blue rope coming up there. It'll be pulling in the right direction, and in theory it should work perfectly, should it not? In theory. But as I said, we'll test it thoroughly before we can deem it safe. We're getting on.
Getting there slowly.
Oh, is this bolting up all right? You were saying that it was a bit floppy in the thread department.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Oh. The other thing we noticed, this was loose. The alternator belt was at max tension and it was still flapping about like a good one. And yeah, she's bolting everything down properly. But, I mean, the British Army would have used like this for years, wouldn't they?
Well, you know, get your use out of it.
Yeah,
Well.
exactly. The thing is, if you leave it loose, it beds in and it's actually tighter in the end. That's what I heard. The actual reason I come down here, Tom, would you tie a knot in that for me that won't come undone? Thanks.
It's alright.
I would watch and learn, but yeah, it doesn't really make sense to me. Claire's still stuck on the bed. Well, I've got my handle ready. And Tom's also tied the little pulley handle that will be on top of the deck. And yeah, what can go wrong? Right, the prop's off, the neutral switch is on.
Dylan's flapping.
Will it start?
Flapping.
Are you panicking?
Yes. I'm absolutely panicking.
When you're ready. What a bloody nightmare that was, but after a bit of fuckery, we've now got a rope on that linkage pulling in the right direction, so we can actually stop the engine now. And that's the most important thing. Before you ever start up an engine, make sure you know how to stop it. That would be my expert advice to everyone. Right, we've got Dylan in the driver's seat. If you attempt to start up, self-bleeding, so it will self-bleed. Yeah, we're definitely losing a bit of oil. So what I'll have to do is take this prop properly out. I've got to lift this whole rectifier unit, and you might find it's a bit gobby inside, so I'll clean that while I'm there. And I'll also reseal all this gasket and everything wherever this is leaking out of. Well, I wasn't recording, but I will now. It's all started guffing out the top of the out the breather. So yeah, we found our leak. Now that is either two things. It means your engine's bollocks, or the big mesh filter in there is rammed full of crap, and the oil is leaving the tank quicker than it can flow back through that gauze into the tank, and then it just bubbles out the breather. Right, well, after lots of struggling in the puddle, the oil tank is out. Now, I did drain the oil, but there's still quite a lot in there, and I can only imagine that's because it's all stuck in this side, because it's so blocked it won't go through to that side. So we're going to get it down to the workshop. I'm going to steam clean it off, and then I'll take all the rectifier unit, all the bungs out, and steam clean it out.
I think your hands might need doing as well.
Yes, I think they might as well. Once I've got the rectifier unit out, I'm going to test it, because I want to check all the diodes in it, because it's not charging. So I can check all the positive and negative diodes inside the rectifier. Well, there's definitely a fair bit of slop in there. We'll get the rest of it out. Oh, lovely. Now that's the... Oh my god. I mean, you can see the slop in that house. Yeah, fair bit of cleaning needed. Nice. Right, well, after lots of pressure washing and how horrible it was, I think she's looking pretty clean now. So I can see through this, which I couldn't before, and oil wasn't passing. Now things are flowing through there very easy. And the same on the other side. We are going to leave it upside down just to let any sort of last remnants come out. But yeah, not bad. I'm happy. Are you happy?
Very.
Good. Right, we've got our rectifier unit. Now, while it's out, we ought to test all the diodes in it. So you get your multimeter.
Isn't it?
It is. I don't know how it all works, but it's a bit.
Press buttons now for the best.
Yeah. So you get into your diode testing mode, and then you want to test forward and backwards on your positive and your negative diodes. So positive on an AC3. Oh, right, so 0.4, 0.4, 0.4. And then you switch your leads around, and then I would expect it should be open loop. Open loop. Open loop. Open loop. So that's alright, that's our positive rectifiers. I'm twisting my bloody cables up. Be back swinging round. And then you want to do your negative rectifiers. So you do the same way. You go on your negative pin. AC3. Oh, that's different. 2.4. 0.6. 2.2. Right. So this we're getting a bit of a change in results here, which I don't like. So you swap them around, and then these should probably all be open loop. No, right, so 0.4 is the way it is going the open way. So that means all of these ones should be open loop, because the diode should only go one way. So there's a problem with our negative diodes. Have you got any diodes left over in your car?
I don't know, I have to go and check.
Balls. Now, here's one I found earlier and haven't had to take it off and unpack. But basically, what you expect to see, the right function, you want it on diode, and then you test it a bit like that. So open loop, open loop, open loop. So what you want one side, then you flip it round. 0.4, 0.4, 0.4. And that's what you want. And basically it's when your diodes inside the rectifier unit bugger up, it doesn't actually act as a rectifier, so it doesn't change the wavelength of your AC charging. Air conditioning, boys. Right, well, the oil tank is all built back up. Now the fun task of getting it back in. Well, that absolutely sucked. I've got to be honest, but it's all back on now. Everything's tightened up. I've not put any oil in it yet because there's a few other things I want to do before I even think about starting it up. But yeah, that sucked. That is how much it sucked. And yes, my other hand is the same colour. Not a lot of fun because obviously all the oil's been blowing back down the breather and just landing all there and everything's soaked in it, and it's, yeah, pretty horrible to be honest. Not a fun job at all. But the next thing I want to have a look at, now this must be I believe a 4F engine. I don't quote me on that, but it's still got the oil spinner. Now the Mark 6 engines don't have this and it's just blanked off. So I think I'm going to do that. It's just one less problem to worry about. And to be honest, all of our 432s are Mark 6 and we never have any grief with them. Right, so we've got our blanking plate fitted. Now that was a horrible job. I thought it was going to be 3 bolts, nice and easy. Turns out it's not. But it's done now. And I filled it up with oil. Tom's here for assistance. I thought it would be about time to run it up and see if it runs any better now. But it turns out it was those diodes that was causing our issue. So when Tom come it on, 28.8, don't get much better than that. I'm happy. For a couple hours, and to be honest, it's all going pretty well. There's definitely a coolant leak. You can see that pipe under there, which is not a fun pipe to change, but it looks like it's rotted through, just like a couple pinprick holes, and it's just giving a constant drip. Now I'll have to let it cool down, otherwise it will blow my face off when I open the coolant. What else? And this heat exchanger is missing one of its brackets, so I'll have to get a bracket for that. and there's a few other things I think here and there, but all in all it's not bad. We've called in the big guns to re-solder this nipple on. So the military connections, they all have this strange nipple.
Didn't flow as well as I'd liked.
Let's get a camera shot.
A bit of rag, really. Is it a good time to mention this stuff's really flammable?
Is it? What are you doing there, Tom? Oh, I need one of those for my pack, don't I?
Oh,
I love that.
Finished up a few little bits. So I've got the bit for the amp now. Is the chair is now working?
Oh my god! I've never actually seen one move like that. Only when they're brand new. It takes about a week until they seize up. What is that?
And, well, it was in the Abbott. I don't even know what it is, but I've made it look nice now.
Wow,
it's lovely and shiny.
That's a lovely coat, that is.
Thank you.
Wow.
I bought it myself from Screwfix.
Right, well, I've done all the little bits and bobs I wanted to do. New pipe made up for there. Bolted down with the hydraulic fan tank. New strap on the heat exchanger. What was the other thing I did? I can't remember. There was something. But yes, all I'm going to do, run it up one last time. Because I'm just going to leave it for a while running. Because I need to go and help Tom with some track. That looks heavy.
It was.
Perfect timing, really. I'll come down now.
Hope you had your Weetabix.
Yeah. So you don't need this anymore, do you?
No, I don't, but thank you.
Do we want to take the mud flap off? Because that could make our life a bit harder.
It could, but I want a challenge. And you know what we're like.
Yes.
Too stubborn for our own good.
Yes. Very stubborn. There's like 4 bolts you got to take off to take that off. Christ. Got sort of time for that.
Well. And 2 of them are flathead screws.
So the last time you saw us doing a bit of track bashing would have been on a 432, and it was hard work. And unfortunately, the CVRT track tactics don't translate to 432 track tactics. That's like
to say.
Yeah, not very easy actually. A bit of a tongue twister. On a CVRT, you can just put a bar in the sprocket, as Tom will now demonstrate, and it will just pull the whole track along. Because they're like children's toys, CVRT. Everything's light. Yeah. Yes. Nice. And you counted the links, yeah?
Yeah, I made it to 10 and then I couldn't count any further, so I ran out of fingers.
Ended on 69.
Despite where I'm from. But I think we're about right.
Well, I leave the pack unattended for about 5 minutes, and I get a call from Mr. Michael, and he says, are you aware there's smoke coming from over by the Abbott? And I'm like, yeah, it's just the engine smoke, Mike. He goes, oh no, I don't think it's engine smoke, it doesn't smell like engine smoke. And sure enough, yeah, it was not engine smoke. We've smoke bellowing out of here, and the link lead has melted. So then you think, how has that happened? Oh God. As it started charging rapidly, and I have a quick look around, and then I noticed the starter motor being that colour, and hot to the touch. And what can be a common thing on these starter motors after we've had them rebuilt is they tend to stick out. Now it's not common on them, but after we have them rebuilt, they do. The sad part is as well, the water pipes held and all that stuff seems good, and it was running real nice. And it was about ready to go back in, I think. And now obviously we've got to do the starter motor on it. I'll have to leave it a little while because as you can see, it's bloody hot. Well, that's one side on, and that's 2 side on. Now we've done that so quick that my starter motor is still red hot.
Yeah.
So I don't really know.
Last time was about 10 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It actually was.
Yeah. Right, well, we've got the starter motor out, and you saw it was very hot, so I just had to let it drop. But you can see the coloration of it down here. This was all a lovely colour like that, and now it's not. Now, these are like on a spring, so they should pull out, but they should want to spring back. That doesn't want to spring back at all.
No, it doesn't. And the shaft is blue.
Yes.
Which it shouldn't be.
No, that is not good at all. Considering this is that starter motor's probably done about 5 starts. And that's it. 5 starts and then that's happened and it's absolutely bollocks.
As they say, Ashley, it's foobarred.
Yes. Goosed.
Goose, yes.
Right, well, we've got a new starter on and thank God it started up and it's still charging and everything seems to be okay. I was scared for a moment that, you know, took coming from inside the vehicle and inside the pack. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll get a beautiful assistant to hold the decompression lever and I'll engage that starter and disengage it probably 20 times before I think it's safe to put back in. Beautiful sound in the Abbott.